Machina first appeared alongside Kurasame. Later, the two would also receive ability awakenings at the same time. Deuce came along too, though Cater kind of disappeared. And now Machina receives a Neo-Vision awakening. What does Kurasame have? Oh. Machina's Trustmaster reward is a material of several effects. Upon entering the fight, the unit gains a weak full stat buff. Furthermore, if the unit's holding a sword, they get a 35% boost to attack, and if they're wearing clothes, they get a 10% boost to HP and a 15% boost to attack. All in all, that's a possible 50% boost to attack, which, well, could be worse. His Super Trustmaster reward is a sword. It's actually been buffed to have more attack, though it's not particularly noteworthy otherwise. It does have a dual-wield passive, which enables dual-wield, but really, anyone who wants to be dual-wielding likely has a dual-wield of their own anyways. Onto his active abilities. Dark Side is worthless. Siphon Sword and Stunning Slash can be upgraded further to strengthen their breaks, but are ultimately overshadowed by Stun Rush, which is a dispel, plus an 80% full break, and Chains of Absolute Mirror of Equity. Guardian Blades and Enforced Magic Barrier could have been useful if those could be upgraded, but that's not allowed, so they ultimately remain forgotten. Element Eiger can be strengthened to raise the Fire, Ice, and Lightning imperos to 120%, 100%, 100%, respectively, and it also Chains of Absolute Mirror of Equity. Summon Eidolon foes the evocation gauge, blows your team's limit burst gauges by a large amount, and then kills Machina, the perfect trinity. Awakening restores his HP, boosts his attack by 250%, and enables Rush Blade, but that doesn't matter. Vermilion Slash deals fire damage that chains a bolting strike, lowers the enemy's defense by 80%, and lowers the enemy's fire resistance by 120%. There's also a small HP recovery, which isn't substantial, but it's nice. Buster Charge can be used twice per battle. It boosts Machina's attack by 300%, gives him resistance to attack breaks, and boosts his fire damage by 30%. He also has some magic spells. You'll probably use Libra the most. Passives. With his Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward equipped, Machina gains stats. Automatically, what is this? Gets a very small boost to his limit burst gauge fill rate, some damage modifier boosts, and raises his equipment attack by 60% when carrying 2 weapons. As you might guess, he greatly prefers carrying 2 weapons. He deals increased damage to machines and plants, and has gained a strong boost to his limit burst damage. His normal attack has been changed to Chain of Bolting Strike, and also recovers his own HP. He also gets a full chain cap boost, which is great. If you get him to EX plus 3, he automatically fills his limit burst gauge at the start of the battle. Speaking of which, let's look at his limit burst. It has a 79% attack and magic break, but the damage modifier is kind of unremarkable, even with that partial piercing effect. In fact, it's so underwhelming that we're just going right to his super limit burst instead. As with every super limit burst, it has an automatic buff called Attack Shift, which grants him a 250% attack buff, a 200% limit burst damage buff, and completely fills his limit burst gauge when his super limit burst is ready. Machina's super limit burst inflicts a 130% fire impero, lowers Machina's defense by 75% because he's confused, attacks on a machine and plant killer, adds a physical damage modifier buff, and then deals fire damage that Chains of Protector's bayonet. Let's rank Brave abilities. He has 1. Furthermore, it just raises damage, so do whatever with it. Time to make a damage rotation. I'll assume he's at EX plus 1. On turn 1, triple cast Vermilion Slash. On turn 2, cast Buster Charge and double cast Vermilion Slash. Oh, we're not done yet. On turn 3, triple cast Vermilion Slash. Now here's where things get crazy. On turn 4, triple cast Vermilion Slash. And on turn 5, super limit burst. And then repeat this exciting rotation from here. So, EX2? Honestly, do it if you can, but there's no reason to explicitly pursue further EX awakenings. All super limit burst users benefit from an EX awakening anyways, so to make things special, units generally unlock additional passives as they level up. Machina only has one such passive, an instant limit burst, and that's locked behind EX plus 3. To put salt on the wound, his limit burst isn't even that spectacular. It's certainly one of his more powerful moves, but it's non-elemental, and no, he doesn't have an Unveiled. Overall, you're better off reliably chaining Vermilion Slash, rather than trying to weld Cyclone Drive into whatever you've got going on. So on that note, how good is Neo-Vision Awakened Machina? For a Neo-Vision Awakened unit, he's rather strong. Unfortunately, he still has the relative frailty of a super limit burst user, but compensates with big damage, which is great if you can get that out before he queues over. It's pretty funny that Machina explicitly goes out of his way to lower his own defense, He doesn't have any resistance to defense breaks either, so that's something you may want to keep in mind if you're using him. As a breaker, he's nothing special either, but 80% breaks and a dispel is still decent. Summon Eidolon could be useful, for someone else that is, in case they want a fast limit burst. On the plus side, once his super limit burst is unleashed, he only gets stronger from there, which lets you repeat the rotation with further vigor, if that's your thing. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you Neo Vision Awakened Machina. I've already done so, but whether I keep using him might be a different story.